Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. In this video, guys, we're going to be taking a look at XRP and specifically why we feel holding and hodling at least 10,000 XRP could be the best decision you've ever made.
Let's get into it.
Okay guys, we're going to start by talking about what Ripple is and what XRP is. Sometimes these two things actually get confused, and sometimes XRP is actually referred to as Ripple, but they are actually different entities. And let me talk about what's going on here. We have Ripple, and Ripple is a payment settlement system and cryptocurrency exchange network that can process transactions all around the world. The idea is that Ripple serves as a trusted agent in between two parties in a transaction, as the network can quickly confirm that the exchange went through properly. Ripple can facilitate exchanges for a variety of fiat currencies, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, and even commodities like gold. Ripple was designed from the very beginning to essentially be a replacement for SWIFT, a leading money transfer network, or to otherwise replace the settlement layer within major financial institutions. Now, whenever users make a transaction using the network deducts a small amount of XRP as a fee. The standard fee to conduct transactions on Ripple is set at 0.00001 XRP, which is minimal compared to large fees charged by banks for conducting cross-border payments. And this is important to understand. So ultimately, Ripple is a software company and they utilize XRP. Now, when we talk about XRP, XRP is a cryptocurrency that runs on the XRP ledger, a blockchain engineered by 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘, and obviously David Schwartz and a few others as well. Now, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘 and Brito would actually go on to found Ripple and use XRP to facilitate transactions on the network. You can buy XRP as an investment, as a coin to exchange for other cryptocurrencies, or as a way to finance transactions on the Ripple network. So there's lots of different use cases around XRP, and that's just a handful of them. Notably, XRP's blockchain operates a little differently than most other cryptos. Other cryptocurrencies open their transaction ledgers and verify processes to anyone who can solve complex equations quickly. But these transactions are secure as the majority of the ledger holders must agree with the verification for them to add it. Instead, XRP Ripple's network somewhat centralizes things. While everyone can download its validation software, it maintains what is called a unique node list that users can select to verify their transactions based on the participants they want or they think are less likely to defraud them. Its default list currently contains 35 trusted validators, and Ripple decides which validators to approve for this list and also makes up to 6 of these validation nodes. So users can opt out of this default list and hypothetically remove Ripple-backed validators from their transactions entirely, instead constructing their own lists of trusted validators. This would allow the network to continue to approve transactions even without Ripple, the company, remaining involved or even continuing to exist. So ultimately, we can see that there is a disconnect between Ripple and obviously XRP's ledger. So ultimately, if Ripple were to disappear overnight, the XRP ledger would perfectly be fine and could continue as it was. So new transactions can come in. The validator updates their ledger every 3 to 5 seconds and makes sure they match with other ledgers. If there's a mismatch, they stop to figure out what went wrong. This allows Ripple to securely and effectively validate transactions, which gives it an edge over other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Okay, so now we've an understanding of what Ripple is and what XRP is. Ultimately, you have a company and you have a cryptocurrency. You do not mine XRP. XRP is completely mined or pre-mined, as they say. There's no complex equations and there's no mining involved. And obviously, there are advantages to this and disadvantages. Obviously, the advantages come that it's incredibly fast. It's got fast settlement and it takes about 4 to 5 seconds. It's incredibly affordable. It's got very, very low fees. As mentioned before, it's 0.0001 of an XRP. It's a versatile exchange network, and the Ripple network not only processes transactions using XRP, but it can also be used for other fiat currencies, cryptocurrencies, and commodities. So it's very, very diverse. Now, the use or used by large financial institutions, and we're going to get into this in a bit more detail in a moment. And of course, there are disadvantages as well. It's slightly more centralized than maybe many of you people in the space might like. It's also, controlled, or at least the majority of the XRP supply is controlled by Ripple Labs. And there is, of course, some regulatory issues going on as well at the moment, and we'll get into that in a second. But ultimately, XRP is one of those cryptocurrencies that has some very interesting use cases all around cross-border payments, specifically, amongst many others, that could see this thing actually explode, specifically if it does fulfill its mission in terms of replacing the SWIFT network, that settlement layer in the legacy financial system. So let's talk about some of the most recent things that have been going on. Obviously, there is the lawsuit up against Ripple and two executives at the moment, and this is all about $1.3 billion worth of unregistered securities offerings. Now, this actually goes back quite a long while ago, back in 2013, in fact. And ultimately, what they're saying here is that Ripple was selling XRP as if it were a security, and it was an unregistered security at the time. Obviously, this legal battle is ongoing for quite some time. Ultimately, Ripple saying that they did not have fair notice, and obviously the SEC haven't exactly done their duty here by leaving it for such a significant amount of time before actually going ahead and filing a lawsuit. Ultimately, there's fault on potentially both parts, but I'm pretty confident that this particular law case or lawsuit will actually end in settlement between the two parties. One, the SEC have made a bit of an embarrassment of themselves recently, and they've had to kind of backstep a few times, and ultimately they don't seem to be trying very hard to win. So ultimately, I feel that in order to save face, they are most likely going to actually end with settlement, as long as the two parties can agree, of course. And from Ripple's point of view, I'm sure these actually were unregistered securities at the very beginning, but they definitely do not look like securities now. So again, the lawsuit looking at sales of XRP from 2013 to current seems a little bit off when we actually take into consideration everything that's been going on with XRP over the last few years. It definitely doesn't look like a security anymore. I can see from the early stages, though, it definitely may have been. So, interesting point of view. I do feel that this actually has a huge impact on the current price of XRP. But long term, guys, I feel that this is actually going to settle. And when it does settle, we're going to see an absolute rocket launch of XRP, and it is going to see significant price discovery going further forward. So for us right now to actually be able to buy and dollar cost average better positions with XRP, under these circumstances, as we were back in December of 2020 when this lawsuit dropped, ultimately you're able to build a very significant position at a more affordable rate before we actually do get this case thrown out or completely closed down, settled or whatever. And as I often say on this particular show, win, lose, draw, settle, it doesn't matter. The price of XRP will surge after this fact once this lawsuit has actually finished. Now, Chris, do you want to talk a little bit about what is going on with the banking side for XRP?
So yeah, I thought it was a wise idea with everything that's sort of happening in the UK, particularly around the banking side of things, and putting limits on people being able to deposit or purchase crypto, or just stopping them altogether. So I thought it was a good idea to sort of, I don't know, just articulate that some of these banks are already sort of integrating themselves in cryptocurrency already through Ripple, for example. So, if we just focus on some of the 100 banks, so this is from 2019. So there's actually more banks. I think at the time that this was written up, about 38% of the world's top 100 banks were partnering up or working with Ripple. So some of those banks include the likes of HSBC, who obviously are not allowing people to purchase crypto, but they're working with Ripple. You've got the Bank of England, the Bank of America. We'll come on to the Bank of England shortly. Again, you've got the Japan Post Bank. You've got Barclays, and another one that's recently been in the news. You've got Royal Bank of Canada. The list goes on and on. You've got NatWest, again another one, and Santander. And Santander is who I currently bank with in the UK. And the CEO of Santander said something very interesting, and this was his quote: "Our innovation is always customer-led. Ripple helps us directly address the issues of speed and transparency around international payments raised by our customers and make sending money abroad better." So they're fully integrated with Ripple, and it's for me, it's interesting. This doesn't necessarily mean that all of these banks are using XRP, but they are looking to build on the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏, right? And we have seen Brad Garlinghouse talk about this regularly. Now, if we sort of touch on the fact that the Bank of England have actually been working with Ripple for an awful long time, right? And I've seen the project plans, and this is why Nick and myself always talk about 2025 and 2030 being sort of key dates. But currently the Bank of England are working with Ripple on a proof of concept, right? So there's lots going on there. And again, this is just a simple Google search when it comes to looking this stuff up. You can just go on the Bank of England's website, right? They're not hiding anything. And it's the same with the Bank of America. And you're seeing some of the largest and most well-known investors moving out of other banks currently, but they're not leaving Bank of America. So, why is that? I personally, and I don't know what your thoughts are, Nick, but personally, I think that is something to do with Ripple and potential use of XRP. But that's just my personal opinion, right? And then we should really probably talk about Swift, right? So Ripple has sort of partnered up with Swift, right? But they're handling, I think this was from about 3 years ago. So they were handling about $5 billion worth of transfers a day, Swift were. So this sort of gives you an idea of the size of the, I guess, the pot that Ripple are sort of looking to get towards, right? And just touching on some of the UK banks. So Barclays, currently there's no fee for online, but they charge customers £25 to do a transfer in store, right? Or branch. You've got Lloyd's, they charge £9.50 whether you're online or in branch. You've got HSBC, they charge you £4 online, £9 in branch. NatWest charge £15 if it's under 5,000, or 0.3% if it's over. So there's all these charges that banks are giving their customers, right? And this is something that Ripple can sort of reduce. Whether the banks actually reduce that, I don't know. They're in the business of making money, right? But for me, the whole use case of XRP is going to really support some of the 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗏 accounts and 𝗕𝗓𝗪 account issues that they've currently got. And for those of you that don't know, that's again just a quick Google search to find out what those are. But in a nutshell, banks will hold bank accounts abroad for the purpose of foreign exchange and stuff like that, for transactions like that. So they have money that's tied up that can't be used, right? And again, this is something that will free up a lot of money for a number of these banks to support, with generating more income for their businesses, right? So, that there's a lot to be done here, and I think Ripple has an amazing use case, and is one of the reasons why we are so deeply invested in XRP.
Fantastic. So just to kind of recap, guys, obviously XRP as a cryptocurrency can obviously confirm transactions incredibly fast. It has high throughput, not as high as some of these new kind of sharded blockchains right now, but ultimately still up there as one of the best for transactions. Now, ultimately, with all those integrations with banks, again, that list has grown, as Chris was saying, and all those project plans that we have reviewed actually puts XRP at the kind of top end of what we believe is going to be a fantastic project in the future. We talk about 2025, as Chris was saying, as an area where we see mass adoption happening. A lot of these roadmaps also coincide with that 2025 roadmap of ours. And ultimately, this means that you're going to start seeing these CBDCs actually hitting and launching on most of these banks. And they will most likely have to have some form of bridge asset that will be able to allow for interoperability between CBDCs. This is most likely, in our opinion, going to be the XRP coin. Okay, so they'll be using potentially the XRP-L for their CBDCs. This is yet to be seen, but something that's been widely spoken about. And if they do this, then ultimately interconnecting all of that together could be XRP. So not only is it doing your cross-border incredibly effectively and cheaply, you'll also have this basically interoperability between CBDCs. And guys, this is going to potentially be absolutely huge. So one of the things I just want to kind of touch on as well, obviously we do hold pretty decent positions of XRP. The expectations are that this year the price of XRP will surge up towards probably $13 to $16 in that kind of range, in my opinion. Follow my TA if you're interested to know how I get to those numbers. And again, guys, there are potential scenarios where we could see the price of XRP absolutely explode above and beyond those. And again, we touch on that $67 XRP that we have also seen within the technical analysis. So guys, next time we drop one, check it out. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell and all that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, that's just this cycle. Where do we see ourselves in 2025? Ultimately, significantly higher. Let's assume that we do only get to that kind of like $13 range this particular cycle. We'll have a pullback, naturally, another accumulation point for XRP. Dollar cost average better positions for the next cycle, which would kickstart off in 2024, 2025. And what that would mean would be a significant price bump on the current position. And ultimately, I feel that XRP is very well positioned by 2025 to be one of the key players in the space. Obviously, it has recently taken a tumble down the ratings, currently ranked 6th by market capitalization. I do see this actually changing once this lawsuit has moved out of the way. Win, lose, settle, it does not matter in my opinion. Ultimately, XRP will regain its 3rd spot in total market capitalization. Again, I do feel that there's going to be a handful of key projects in the space in that top 10, and XRP is going to be one of them for the long haul. This means that holding, in our opinion, at least 10,000 could be the best retirement plan that you guys have ever come across. Anything else you want to add, Chris?
Again, just that, we've kind of seen some massive opportunities, and with the lawsuit being dropped how it was, we saw the prices significantly drop. We were purchasing more XRP at those points, increasing our position. We were very vocal on the fact that that's what we were doing. And it's interesting to start seeing other YouTubers with large followings starting to talk positively about XRP and what's happening with Ripple. And one thing that I would say is we were talking about this when the prices were low, and yet again we're going to see everything that we've said come to fruition. Mark my words.
Okay, guys, if you found it useful and informative, hit the like button. We appreciate that. Make sure you've subscribed, tap the bell, hit on all notifications, and you won't miss a single video. Guys, with this said, done, and out of the way, we hope everyone has a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Yeah, take care.